Hello everybody, Kevin J. Johnston here, freedomreport.ca. I have the extreme pleasure of sitting with Sandra Solomon, who you have been introduced to online as the lady who protested at the Peel District School Board. Hello Sandra, and thank you for joining us.
Hello, thank you so much for having me here. It's my honor.
Well, first off, let's talk about who you are. Who is Sandra Solomon?
Well, my name is Sandra Solomon. I'm the founder of Canadian Against Islamization movement. I'm ex-Muslim myself, and I came to Canada about 11 years ago. I immigrant to Canada. I was raised all my life in Saudi Arabia, between Saudi Arabia and Jordan.
Really?
Yes.
Well, in the Peel District School Board last month, we had a vote that was taking place to allow Arabic and Muslim students to pray in Arabic in publicly funded schools where Christians, I see your Christian cross, are not allowed to do so. You then raised this book in the air, the Quran,
Yes.
and began to tell the crowd, to educate the crowd.
Right.
What were you saying?
I was telling them that Quran, it's a hate literature, and Islam, it's a terrorist ideology, and I was warning Canada about this decision that they're bringing the Quran and the Islamic teaching to the Canadian school, and because I know this is the part of the plan of the Islamization movement, that they're trying to bring Islam to the school and to brainwash the kids as early as possible with Islamic teaching.
What is the goal for Islam to brainwash our kids? What is the end game for them in doing this?
Of course, they want to convert the kids as early as possible to Islam, and they want to let them also, live Islamic culturally, adopt Islamic values, and try to, like for the girls, to let them wear the hijab, and for the boys, the lifestyle, the Islamic lifestyle, the Islamic culture lifestyle. So slowly they want to, this is the implementing of Sharia law in schools.
And of course,
Yeah.
you and I are dead set against
Of course.
that.
Big time.
Yes. So let's go back now to Saudi Arabia.
Yes.
Yes. You indicated when you were talking at the Peel District School Board that they took your son from you.
Yes.
You've witnessed a lot of death and murder.
Yeah.
And you had to escape the country as a woman. Could you clarify that?
Yes, I face so many things. Like, I lived under Sharia law. Saudi Arabia, it's 100% Sharia law constitution, and that's what they teach us as we're young. That's why I was holding the Quran. They teach us that the Quran is our constitution. So to them, this is the government here in the Quran. They don't govern by Canadian law or Canadian values. They govern by Sharia law, by what says in the Quran. This is the constitution. So in Saudi Arabia, we learned the Islamic, the Quran and the Hadith. I was fully understanding what Islam it's all about, and I faced so many problem when I used to live in Saudi Arabia. I was forced to wear the hijab. If I'm refusing, I was physically abused a lot just because I refused the hijab.
Wow.
And they forced me into a marriage. Forced marriage, it's part of Islamic way of life. Women women in Islam, it's a second-class citizen. They don't have freedom of speech. They cannot live freely, and there's no free thoughts. There's no free speech in Sharia law, and I faced so many problems as well. Since I was in school as well, they kicked me out from school many times. I lost opportunity to continue my education just because I was always arguing and questioning Islam, which is considered a blasphemy. You're not allowed to question. You just have to submit and no question asked.
So as an intelligent individual, which I
Yes.
can tell that you are,
Yeah.
you see through this book.
Yeah.
You see through it all.
Right.
Just like I myself see through most of our Canadian statutes and laws.
Right.
I don't accept them.
Yeah.
So you've been outspoken about this,
Yeah.
and that forced you to have to leave your country of birth.
Right. And when things happen, through my life, when I came to Canada, I came with my son. But at a certain time, I had to leave him a little bit with his dad after hardly I got my divorce. You know, it wasn't easy as well. And when I told them, like years later, it's like it's a long story, but I'm cut it short. When I told them that I left Islam, I'm a Christian now. My son at that time was in Saudi Arabia, and they told me, you're not gonna come to see him. We will kill you if you come to Jordan again. And you know, I was. They told me you will never see your son again, but praise the Lord, miraculously I got my son back to me, but it wasn't easy. It was really, really hard.
Where's your son now?
He's with me now.
In Canada?
Yes.
In the city of Mississauga?
Yes.
Praise him.
Yes.
Well done. Good
Amen.
for you.
Yes.
Excellent.
Yes.
Well, the Quran itself now, I have been reading Bill Warner's English translation of this book, and I am blown away by how this thing is structured. My understanding of the book, without the proper interpretations of it, is that it's organized from the longest story at the beginning to the shortest story at the end, which leaves nothing but controversy and contradiction in between all the pages. Maybe you could clear that up for everybody.
Okay. The Quran itself, it's mixed between the Maccaean. We should associate it with the history of Muhammad, the founder of Islam. If we don't know the history of Muhammad, we have to put it all together with the Quran, because it's a Maccaean stage and the Medinan stage. It's actually two Qurans in one. So the Maccaean chapters different than the Medina chapters, and what's he said in the Medina chapters abrogated what he said in the Medina and Maccaean chapters. So technically we should just take the Medinan one, because the Maccaean one, it's been abrogated.
All right. So when you're saying Maccaean, you mean Meccan? Like
Mecca. In Mecca. When he was in Muhammad, when he was in Mecca for almost 13 years, you know, he was preaching that he's a prophet, telling people, I am a prophet, follow me, and people don't not listen to him. And he was trying to deceive them using the taqiyya and lying and pretending that he's a nice guy, he's bringing a religion, and you have your religion, I have my religion. You know, these all like Maccaean verses that Muslims, they always use it when they're in a stage, you know, like for when they're in a Maccaean stage, like for now, like the Muslim now in Canada, they playing the Maccaean stage, taqiyya and deceive until they have a full control of the country. Then the Median Quran will appear.
So the Meccan version of this is the nice version.
Yes.
Yes, that's the one that's polite and has a little bit to do with
even
love.
Though it has some like obvious word, like it would say like ya ayyuhal kafirun, oh ya infidels. Like he already started calling the people infidels.
Right. And that's in the good book.
Yeah, this is from the good side as well. Like he already put the label of the people who's not gonna follow him infidels. It's all Muhammad ideology that's been written in this book.
So it's just one guy wrote this book, essentially.
It's just one guy that
or better yet, one guy who dictated notes and someone wrote it down for him.
Yes.
My understanding was that Muhammad was illiterate.
Yes.
Yes, okay.
Abdullah ibn al-Jarrah. There is many people also write it. And actually, surprisingly, one of the people who used to write for Muhammad when he's, telling him what to write, and this guy was writing something, like Muhammad, he said something, but he was writing something else. And then he said to him, oh, but isn't better if we say something? He said, okay, just put it this way. So the guy who was writing for him actually left Muhammad and figured out that he's not a prophet or anything, and there's nothing is revealing to him. And he actually left him and left the Arabic Peninsula and went to Ethiopia, and he became Christian. The one of the guy who was writing for Muhammad.
Let's just recap what you just said there, because that's hilarious.
Yes, Abdullah ibn al-Jarrah, his name.
Muhammad was dictating notes to someone else to say, I am the prophet, I am the word of Allah.
Yes.
Everything I say is law because it comes from Allah.
Yes.
Then this guy would write something else down.
Right.
Read back what he had written.
Yes.
And Muhammad would just say, yeah, okay, go ahead with that.
Yeah,
because
it's better.
the job is done.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Like it fits better because once the people who do not know how to read the Quran in Arabic, that's why I always recite the Quran in Arabic, because I understand the original language of it. It's like a poetry. It has to fit nice together. So as he's writing, he has to put it together. It's like when you write a poem, you have to put things together.
Trial and error. Yeah.
Exactly.
Testing. Yeah.
So that's the Quran, because the Arabic Peninsula, the region there, it was people was famous by poetry. Arab people, you know.
But it was such a farce.
Yes.
That even Muhammad's personal scribe.
Yes.
Said, the hell with this.
Yes.
Left the entire Arabic area.
Yes.
The desert. Left.
Yes.
And became a Christian.
Yes. And he went to Ethiopia and Al-Habasha in Arabic, and he became Christian.
What do I say then
Yes.
to any Muslim apologist or any Mohammedan out there who tells me that that is not true?
Well, read the story of Abdullah ibn Jarrah. Like, his name is there. It's been written in the history.
Tell you what, let's spell that right now for everybody. What's the guy's name?
Abdullah ibn Jarrah.
Okay, you're gonna have to go slow because I don't speak Arabic.
Abdullah.
Ibn.
Yeah.
Okay.
Al-Jarrah.
Al-Jarrah. I tell you what, people, I'm going to find that name. Don't you worry. There's future videos
Yes.
coming about that name.
Yes.
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 Well, I appreciate your time. Thank you very much
problem.
for joining us today.
Yes, no
We'll
problem.
be in touch soon. Kevin J. Johnston from freedomreport.ca and the lovely Sandra Solomon here to teach you the truth about the Quran, Mohammedans, and Islam. Kevin J. Johnston here, freedomreport.ca. I'm with the lovely Sandra Solomon to talk to you about the Quran and the Islamization of Canada. We talked in our last video about the Peel District School Board, and for those of you out there that don't know what that means, Peel Region is a culmination of 3 cities, Mississauga, Brampton, and Caledon, which are to the extreme west of the city of Toronto in the province of Ontario, Canada. Our Peel District School Board, I've met some of these people, and I'll tell you what they are, is gutless. They are absolutely ready to surrender on a moment's notice just because a couple of Muslims scream out. Sandra has protested there, and I have protested with my own letter. And as an expert on the Quran, I'd like Sandra to tell me if I'm right or wrong. My letter starts off to the Peel Board of Education. My name is Kevin J. Johnston. Before I begin speaking to you, I demand the women among you lower your gaze. Quran 24:31. Am I right?
Yes, they have to lower their voice, and they have to submit, and they have to be. This is the good Muslim woman. That's how they should act.
So a good Muslim woman has to look at the floor when a man is speaking, or just when a man's in the room. How does that work?
Yes, of course. It's like غض البصر in Arabic. Like they have to keep their eyes down when they speak to men, and they're not allowed to shake hands with men, and they're not even allowed to associate, like to work with men. Like I lived in Saudi Arabia, everything is separate. Actually, the girls, they will have their own schools, and the boy have their own schools. There's no mixed school under Sharia law. You cannot do that.
Oh, my Lord.
Yeah. Yes.
Wow. My second sentence was, in addition, if there are any women among you who are unclean, meaning menstruating, I would ask that you leave the room. And that's Quran 5:6. Please. Is that true?
Yes, because under Sharia law, women, they consider filthy, and they're not clean. The men even, like it says in the Quran, وَإِذَا لَمَسْتُمُ النِّسَاءَ أَوْ جَاءَكُمُ الْغَائِطُ. That means if you touch a woman, and if you go the second one, like the Quran actually describe woman as a boo-boo, like the second one. It's in the Quran.
Oh my Lord.
Yeah.
So you're like a scab.
Yeah, you're filthy. You're not clean. If a man touch a woman, he has to go wash himself.
Why do you think then that women in Canada are defending Islamic prayers and Islamic groups that want to bring Sharia law here? Why are white Canadian women protecting this and telling men like me that I'm wrong to talk about this?
First of all, because they're ignorant and they're betrayers, and I'm sure
Yes, treason.
they're getting paid very well, and also they're the Muslim deceiving them using the taqiyya. They're not telling them the truth, and they don't want to know the truth.
Well, taqiyya is the rule in this book that says
it's rule
lie,
number one.
lie, lie.
You have to. If you don't lie, you're not Muslim.
Really?
Yeah, you have
rule
to lie.
number one.
It's rule number one. You have taqiyya.
To lie.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, deceiving until you got what you want, until you're the upper hands. You know, you make them submit to you by deceiving. They're deceived as well, and we have to. When we're talking to them, we want to educate them. It's not like we're enemy for them. We're bringing the evidence. We're bringing everything that from the Quran, from the Hadith, from Imams themselves. They're saying this. So what else they want? We got all. It's not like just we're bringing something from our own heads. I can provide with every. That's why in the Peel District School, I have bunch of papers with me, and I keep repeating. I have evidence. I have evidence. I wanted to give them the evidence of what I'm saying.
Well, you're asking Janet McDougall to do something other than scream and yell at white Canadians that pay her salary.
Yeah.
She is a psychopath. There's a lot wrong with her. I've met her. I despise her in every way. And the school board, during our next municipal election, you would be wise to get her out. Trust me.
Yeah.
Regardless, my third statement here is, I would also like to ask the men holding this letter, if you have shaken hands with or touched your menstruating colleagues, please rub your hands in dirt and then wash them in water so that you are clean. And that's Quran 5:6 as well. Is that one true?
Yes. They have to wash. If a man is not allowed to touch a woman who's not his wife, or shake hands even, just to shake hands with them. Do you see all the time, many Muslims, they don't shake hands, either man or woman. They refuse to shake the hands. Like this is part of Sharia law. It's part of the Quran. Again, the Quran is the constitution. Whatever Quran is telling them to do, they will do it blindly. They would just have to follow.
So when they're not allowed to shake hands,
they're not
Muslims
allowed.
You're not allowed to shake hands with each other, with men and women?
No.
Oh?
This is like considered. They have to go make wudu. They have to wash themselves. It's because the women are filthy to them. Like they're not considered filthy. They're not.
Wow.
They're not allowed to shake hands.
With women?
No, with women, no, of course not.
Oh my Lord!
You can't even, like in Sharia law, women supposedly they have to fully cover the niqab, not just like the eyes. No. Under Sharia law, it has to be fully covered. Even though the face covering, it's not mentioned in the Quran, but culturally, they have to, like under Sharia law.
How happy do you think Canadian women are going to be when Sharia law is brought into certain communities and white Canadian women are forced to put that on? What do you think is going to happen then?
They're gonna start rebel, and they're gonna start talking open. They're gonna open their eyes to the truth, but it's gonna be too late for them. They have to submit, otherwise the Sharia police will hit them with the sticks, like what they did to many women in Saudi Arabia. And I witnessed this. The Sharia police, they don't give them the freedom to speak or to criticize, and it's gonna be too late for them. They have to submit. They're a slave.
Oh my Lord!
Yeah, that's woman, slave, sex slave.
Sex slave, yes.
Yeah.
Well, what about then? There is a ruling in the Middle East about the fact that a man is now allowed to have sex with his wife up to 6 hours after her death.
Yes.
What would be the starting of something like that?
The starting of that, it's a fatwa from many imams, and that's Muslims also, they go by fatwas. Whatever the imam tells them to do, they will do it. Because after Muhammad's death, there's many interpretation for Quran, explanations, and many scholars, many Muslim scholars. So Muslim, actually, they don't think for themselves. What makes me leave Islam, because I start thinking for myself. I don't want nobody to, I'm not a follower, I'm a leader. I'm not just gonna take this and just submit to it. So having sex with a dead woman, Muhammad himself, he did it.
Oh.
Yeah. So he had sex with dead woman. And so Even when they saw him doing this,
Yeah.
the follower, they said, oh, Prophet, we never see something like this. So he said to them, oh, I was trying to make the punishment of, because they believe in Islam, the grave, when people die, they will be punished in the grave, like before they go to the punishment in the grave. So he said, I was making it easy on her, whatever. He was trying. So people like even the people at his time, they was surprised because never happened before. Muhammad, he's the first one started to say it's okay, it's halal to have sex with dead women.
Oh my, and halal means proper.
Halal means it's permitted. It's
Permitted.
okay. Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, I did speak with a Lebanese Christian about this, and what he was saying is that for men, this religion, if you could call it that, is all about one thing: sex, sex, sex. Those were his words to me.
Yeah.
That everything in here
Yeah.
is telling men that it's okay to have sex with anything you want,
Yeah.
whether the person that you're having sex with wants you to or not.
Yeah.
Could you comment on that?
Of course, women in Islam, it's a sex object, and in Islam, permitting having sex with pre-precedent girls, like young girls, before they got their period. It's okay to, have sex with her. It's
I
okay
can't even talk about that without getting mad.
Yes, and it's halal. Surah 65 verse 4. It's there, and many verses talking about sex, and many hadith as well. And what Muhammad did. Don't forget, Muhammad, the founder of Islam, and one very important thing: we need to stop calling Islam a religion. This is a big mistake that people always do. It's not religion. It's a political ideology wrapped up with religion. It's not religion. It's cult. Islam,
Yes.
it's cult. We need to stop call it religion. We have to call it for what it is.
Okay.
That's very
Well, I will do that. I'm no longer using the term Muslim either. I'm using the term Mohammedan.
Mohammedan or bandits and thugs, because Muhammad was bandit and thug. Yeah.
Yes, he was. I'll read the last point here on this letter, and then we'll move on.
Yes.
I also say here that you should also take note that after reading this letter, it should turn out that 2 men vote against 4 women on the decision before you, and those 4 women vote against the 2 men, then the decision shall fall to the 2 men, as the value of ladies is half that of your male colleagues. That's Quran 4:11 and 4:176. Is that true?
Yes, because when women appear in a court or anywhere, her witnessing, it's not taken. It has to be it has to be with the 2 women, and because also the women, when they inherit, like 2 men for 1 woman, like the equal, and women, her witnessing, it's not taken serious. It has to be. Yeah.
So if they're in a court of law,
Yeah.
and there are 2 women
Yeah.
and 1 man,
Yes.
even if the 2 of them state that he killed my father,
Yeah.
if he says no, he did not, he wins.
Yes, he won. Yeah, because the
3 women are required.
yeah.
So that's
Like-
1.5 human beings.
Yes.
To-
That's
to
why
one.
they considered women under Sharia law. It says women ناقصات عقل ودين. They don't have full brain. They're not like.
They don't have a full brain.
Yeah, they don't have full brain. Like their brain, it's not full. It's not developed. Like it's not fully developed. Men under
Jesus.
Sharia law, women always have to have a guardian, like a man guardian, to
Can I-
tell her what to do and what not to do.
Can I ask this question here?
Yeah.
Because the fact that I didn't know that it said half a brain. I knew it said half the value.
Yes,
But
in
I
the
didn't know
hadith.
it said half a brain.
In the hadith,
And
yeah.
that pisses me off.
Yes.
So my real question now is, how does a criminal like Bonnie Crombie, the mayor of Mississauga, the 6th biggest, possibly the 5th biggest city
Yeah.
in the country now,
Right.
how does she not, as a woman, be repulsed by the fact that the people who are supporting her and whom she is supporting
Yeah.
believe she has half a brain?
Actually, and also under Sharia law, women should not be in a position to be a mayor or responsible of anything in the country. It has to be male.
It has to be male,
It's
no matter
against
what.
Sharia law. Like if let's say Canada, God forbid, became Sharia law, all these women, they would have to leave their positions. They're not allowed under Sharia law.
And then they'll be told they have half a
They
brain.
have to yes, they're not qualified to roll or to make decisions. So how they gonna make them mayor or even these school board women? They're not allowed.
Let me tell you something. As a man, I'm the first one to say that 95% of men are not qualified to do much more than pull up their own pants.
Yeah.
So for me to hear what you just said,
Yes.
this book makes me extremely angry.
Yeah.
I married a woman who has 3 degrees. 3. She's working on another one now. We're talking about someone who has twice my brain capacity.
Right.
Smart is sexy. And
Yeah.
for this book to tell me that I would now have to look for someone who's a moron or try to convince my wife who has this much education that she is stupid because this book is sitting on my desk is highly offensive and highly angering. How do I deal with this now with idiots like Justin Trudeau telling me that I'm not allowed to even talk about that?
Well, that's what we're doing here. You know, we're exposing Islam. We're telling people what's the truth about it. And we're bringing all the evidence. And people should listen to us. They should listen to you. And whatever we're saying, it's not propaganda where we don't have to lie to make Islam look bad. It's already bad enough. And we have every evidence from imams, Canadian imam themselves, talking openly about women being sex slave. Dr. Iqbal Al-Nadvi, he is the chairperson Canadian Council of, he is the Canada top imam, the leader of ECNA Canada. He openly talking about beating in Islam is a type of education, beating up the women.
Holy Jesus.
They have to be. This is the Canadian top imam. Every imam in Canada, he has to go through this man, Dr. Iqbal Al-Nadvi, and I was always challenging him openly to debate me, and I was trying to.
Why is he not in jail for hate crimes against women?
Because we have a betrayed governments. We have a Trudeau who betrayed Canada and given it all the way to these thugs and bandits, and they say whatever they want to say, and they're protected because the government fighting us. They're not fighting for us. Canadians need to wake up and realize this. The Canadian government betrayed us, all of them. Whoever in the government building right now and the parliament, all of them, all liberals, they should
be in prison for treason.
All of them. Yes,
High treason.
Yes, very, very. Because
Criminal Code of Canada, Section 46. Read it.
Exactly. Many, as you go ahead and read the Toronto police chaplain, he said marrying 9-year-old girl is permissible. Muslih Khan. What else? Like, we have so many evidence with Canadian imams. They're speaking openly about beating the wife, marrying young girls, taking sex slave openly on a Canadian soil in a free country, and they use the freedom to destroy the freedom. And when we talk, criticize, we are the one who's considered blasphemers. You know, that's Sharia law.
Oh, read my comments section, people. What you'll find is that Canadians who are 2nd, 3rd, and 4th generation agree with me, and all these other idiots that were born after 2000 do nothing but insult me. And I do get death threats on the phone quite a bit.
Yes, because this is part of the Sharia law. جزاء الذين يحاربون الله ورسوله إما أن يقتلوا أو يصلبوا أو تقطع أيديهم. Whoever say anything or criticize Sharia law in the Quran, it says under Sharia law it should be killed or crucified or cut the hands and the legs at the opposite side.
Oh, I did say that in my letter. I was going to ask you if that was true. Yes, okay. Yes. Here is what I said. Thinking about insulting the fictional character Allah or his prophet, the penalty is death.
Yeah.
Quran 29:68. Or if you prefer, in Quran 5:33, you'll have your hands and feet cut off and then be crucified Jesus style. Is that true?
That's true.
I knew it was true. I mean, I took this from the Quran itself.
Yes.
Now,
all what they need to do, open the Quran and read. How simple.
What I want to ask then is this. All right, there are Muslims in Canada, Mohammedans in Canada, Mohammedans who are born here, and they probably don't believe this stuff. But how is it then that when I talk about crucifixion as part of the book itself, that they want to tell me that I'm wrong? These are, if you're Canadian born as a Mohammedan, You are probably into hockey and chicken wings and beer and strip joints, masturbation, f***ing as many women as you possibly can. You're probably without condoms, because that is what freedom is supposed to be. Then how is it you can see all these wonderful things the country has to offer and then still defend the book?
Because they've been brainwashed when they're young, and they've been told this is only at the wartime when Muhammad was defending himself, which is Muhammad never all his attacks was attack ghazwa. They call it a ghazwa. He never was in a position. Yes, Muhammad never was in a position on a defending himself. Never. He was always the one who
always the attacker,
always
never
the attacker, never to be offended. And I will tell you later about short 6 minutes. I'll tell you exactly how Muhammad started.
We are going to cover that in our next video.
Yes.
This is the lovely Sandra Solomon. I'm Kevin J. Johnston. Visit us online anytime at freedomreport.ca. Don't forget to fight for your freedom, because it's going away fast. Kevin J. Johnston here, freedomreport.ca. I'm with the lovely Sandra Solomon, who is an expert in this book right here, the Quran, mistakenly known as the Holy Quran, because after reading as much of it as I have, I can tell you there's nothing holy about it. Sandra, would you please go ahead and tell us how Muhammad got started?
Okay, Muhammad, when he was in Mecca, so we have to understand the environments. What's the people used to do there in Mecca? Mecca was a multicultural city. It has Jews, Christian, it has all kind of, it's a pagans, people going around the Kaaba, the cube, doing a Hajj, doing pilgriming. So the Hajj, it was a pagan ritual before. So Muhammad and Ramadan, it was also a pagan ritual. So, and they used to go around the Kaaba also half naked, and after they finish, they go and have sex, whatever.
Oh,
so this
my kind of party.
Yeah, this is part of the pagan ritual. They bring the idols in the Kaaba, at the cube, and they bring, they do, with the drums and whatever, and they go around the Kaaba. So, story short, Muhammad, he starts, and also there was, the region has a false prophets and cults. There's many things, and there was a guy. His name is Musaylima. This guy, so that word Muslim came from that man. His name is Musaylima, and he was claiming that he's a prophet and he has a Quran, and he was doing his Quran poetry, and people like him, blah blah blah. So Muhammad felt jealous, and he said, okay, because Waraqa bin Nawfal, the uncle of his first wife Khadija, they're also being a heretic Christian. Like, they're being kicked out from the church because they start heresy against the Christian faith. So they went to Arabic Peninsula, and he got connected with them. That's why also Muhammad knew a little bit about the Bible, about the Old Testament. That's why many things in the Quran, it has a connection with the Jews and the Christian, and mainly Jews and Christians. So Muhammad felt jealous, and he wanted to claim that he's a prophet. So he started doing the da'wah. They call it da'wah. That's the same word. They're still using it, and claiming that he's a prophet. When
so
no one,
da'wah just means to
da'wah
preach?
to tell, tell them, I'm a prophet. I'm bringing religion. Follow me. Nobody follow him. Like, very, very few people. For 13 years, he's trying to convince people that he's a prophet, and no one buy that, because they told him, you're crazy, you're majnoon in Arabic. And
so he's a terrible car salesman.
Yes, and Muhammad, his personality, he has a lot of psychological issue, because what happened to him when he was orphaned, and the Muslim believed that he was his name Muhammad Abdullah, which is not true, because no one really know who's his dad, because they still believe that he was born 4 years after the death of his father. So Muhammad felt jealous, and got envy, and got revenge, and he started hatred. He was a hateful person. He wasn't like a normal person, and he has a lot of psychological issues. So for him to be able to succeed, he got connected with a group of people, a group of bandits and thugs. They called in Arabic al-Sa'alik. Al-Sa'alik. These people, al-Sa'alik in Arabic, bandits and thugs. These bandits and thugs, they used to live in the mountains outside the tribe. Mecca and Medina, it's like a tribal region. And Quraysh tribe, they were trying to keep the peace because it's a trade market. So they were trying to keep the peace with every religion or every cult or whatever. They want to keep everyone in peace because they don't want to lose the trades, coming from the north, going to the south, between the north and the south, Yemen and Al-Sham. So Muhammad went to these bandits and thugs. These bandits and thugs are criminals. Like, they ashamed their tribes. So they kicked them out of the tribe. They're not longer allowed to.
So the rapists, the thieves, the
murderers. The murderers, the criminal, So Muhammad got connected with them. They're serial killers, and they don't fear death. They just want to kill and rape and do their own thing. So at that time, I always say that if we don't understand what happened 1400 years ago, we will never understand what's going on now.
So to recap that, he tried to get normal people like you and I to follow him and believe in him.
Yeah.
Everyone rejected him.
Yes.
So he left town, went to the mountains and found all the creeps, the thieves, the liars, the murderers, and convinced the mentally unstable.
Exactly. Mentally unstable.
Good.
They're already criminals. They're ready to fight. They don't care. So these thugs and bandits, they used to attack caravan, kill the men, and take women, 6 slaves, and take the kids and rape them and train them to be like them. So Muhammad, he connected with them, and he said to them, follow me, help me with my da'wah, help me with my claim, and I will give, while you're living in a mountain, I will give you land, I will give you more women, and I will give you more spoils, more ghanaim in Arabic, and more kids. So they said, okay, we'll follow you. They don't care because he gave them what they actually looking for. So, and he took them to Medina. That's why he did immigration, hijrah. When people immigrant to Canada to go, this is part of the plan. What Muhammad did, he immigrant to Medina, and when he started in Medina, start the army. And he started playing politically. That's why I always say Islam, it's a political. He started playing, there was Al-Aus, Al-Khazraj, there was many tribes. And these tribes, it's normal. All the tribes, they used to fight over water, over anything, to power, who's bigger than who, stuff like that.
Like our modern social justice.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. It's the same. People never change, when King Solomon, he said nothing new under the sun. It's the same thing. It's been repeated. So Muhammad used the fight between tribes using these thugs. Like these thugs, it's like when you're renting someone, when people rent a killer for them to do the job.
Mercenaries.
Exactly. Yes. So he used these people. Let's say this tribe hate the other tribe, so they need someone to do the job for them. So they will, Muhammad bring them these thugs and help them to claim that, to believe that he's the prophet. And
so the Prophet Muhammad
he was,
had his own psychopaths that he had convinced using his own version of the book.
Yeah.
And then would hire these guys out as mercenaries to whichever tribe had the most money or the most women or the most water.
Yeah, and they fight to each other, and he wants to take over each, you know what I mean? And so he used these people, the thugs and the bandits, and slowly, they start, and there was also the big 4 Jewish tribes in Medina, Banu Qurayda, Banu An-Nadir, Banu Qaynuqa, Banu Khaybar. And so in Medina, he established the call for jihad. The word jihad started on terror, terrify them, I will cast a terror. All these verses that's why I always say they have 2 Quran, the Medina Quran, the Mackian Quran. We don't need to bother with the Mackian Quran because that's it. We don't have to. It's not. We cannot apply Mackian Quran for today time. We have to do the Medina time. Medina Quran. So that's why he started calling. He called everyone who do not believe in him or Allah, Satan, and an infidel, and they should be killed. So he adapt the bandit law, and the Sharia law is the bandit law, technically. So whatever these bandits and thugs, they used to have, every mafia group, they have their own rule, right?
So this entire book
It's
is the rules that were used by Muhammad to keep his thugs in control,
Exactly.
and in rank and file.
exactly. So that's why they started, and he came back to Mecca when he started the first army, like more than 300 bandits and thugs. He collect them all and train them and make the swords and everything. When they're ready, he went back to Mecca, and he start genociding and killing, and he start calling for jihad. وقاتلوهم قاتلوا الذين لا يؤمنون بالله ولا باليوم الآخر حتى من الذين أوتوا الكتاب حتى يعطوا الجزية عن يد وهم صاغرون. Fight who do not believe in Allah in the last days from the people of the book, the Jews and the Christians, until they give the jizya, which is, you know, like a mafia.
The tax.
Yes.
You have to pay a tax to live if you're not going to be Muslim.
Yeah, it's
Yes.
like it's a mafia. You know, give me the money, other I'll kill you. That's how it is. Bandits and thugs. So that's how. And he established in Mecca after he killed many people, genociding, and he kept. That's why Islam, it's a collection of, like, see the Hajj, the pilgriming. It was already there. So he kept the ritual, and he started collecting some ritual here and there for people to practice, to cover it with religion, to give the religious coverage. And it's Allah, it's God who's telling me to do this.
So he just made the whole thing up.
Yeah, he made the whole thing up, and people start, because again, these bandits and thugs, they have no fear of death in their heart. Like, they will kill with no mercy. They won't have a mercy. That's why when you see the true Muslims, ISIS, Hamas, Boko Haram, Al-Qaeda, Taliban, these are the true Muslims. Whatever ISIS is doing, they're 100% doing exactly what Muhammad did, and what Muhammad, what's the Quran is telling them to do. And that's.
But do Muslims, we'll say moderate Mohammedans, the ones who are born outside of the Middle East and in the West, do they know this?
Most of them, they see Islam dehumanize people when they're young. That's why they want to bring the book to the school. The early, the better. You know, when they grow with it, they already, the damage is done. They don't have the, you know, the conscious feeling. They would look at it as this is the normal. This is normal to them.
So we're teaching children.
Yes.
The way that Canadians teach children.
Yes.
You hold the door open for the elderly. You
Yes.
respect your parents. When you see small animals, you pet them. You don't step on them. These are Canadian values.
Yeah, respect women and.
You respect your mother. You respect
Women.
girls in the class.
Exactly. You
When
don't
you're
rape.
you don't rape. Yes. When you're teenagers, don't rape. Don't
Yeah.
pull their pants down. Don't.
Exactly.
You don't do what you want.
Yes.
You do what you have permission to do.
Right. And
So this book is designed then to remove all of that.
exactly, even from the mothers. See, Palestinians mothers or Muslim mothers, they send their kids to jihad. I'm a Palestinian. Many Palestinian women, they put the bomb around their kids' waist, or they give them a knife and go to kill the Jews, and they think they are martyrs. You know, they're gonna go to heaven and get the 72 virgins. So that's Muhammadian thing. This is the ideology, Islam. It's a cult ideology, political ideology, built on kill, rape, dominate, take over. That's how it is.
And that is the man that everyone, 1.5 billion people,
Yes, think
honor this man.
Yes, and take him as a role model. That's Muhammad was bandit and thug. That's it.
Well, the very fact that he married a 6-year-old
Yeah.
and played with her for 3 years before, at age 9, penetrating her
Yeah.
with his penis
Yeah.
should be enough to tell the average individual this guy had something really wrong with him. He's an evil individual.
Yeah.
But people still use the phrase "peace be upon him"
Yes.
and view him as a secondary god.
Yes.
But
Yes.
they know. They have to know that he's done this.
Yes. They
So-
all know,
Well,
and
they
they
all
agree
know.
with that.
And they agree with it.
Yeah, they agree with it. Every Muslim, if you tell them he married Aisha, they will be yes. But yeah, so what? He is the prophet. He is, to them, like I would say, unconsciously, people, Muslims, they worship Muhammad. Technically, at the end of the day, it's Muhammad. He is the God of Islam. He is the founder. It's
Yes.
like, forget revelation. As soon as we stop thinking that there is something being revealed, nothing is being. It's all from his head, from his filthy mind. And the true story with Aisha, because again, he made it Sharia law. Again, law, constitution.
Right.
We need to think of this book as this is their, what they teach me when I was young as 5 years old, 6 years old. They teach us al-Islamu dinuna. This is the very first from daycare. They tell them to the kids, al-Islamu dinuna, Islam our religion, al-Qur'anu dasturuna, Quran it's our constitution, Muhammad is our prophet, he is our Muhammad is our prophet, Muhammad nabiyuna, al-jihad wasilatuna, jihad it's our way, والموت في سبيل الله أسمى غاياتنا, dying for Allah it's our ultimate dream. This is
It's a dream.
This is
So-
from daycare. This is from daycare. You have to keep repeating this over and over. It's a military. They're building a military, you know. So
the book here.
yeah,
We're going to conclude now because we're out of time
Yes.
for this particular episode. But
Yeah.
the goal of Islam is to instill the goal of die for Islam in
Yes.
everybody.
exactly.
So it's not a matter of get fit, get smart, be educated, treat people well, go work your fields, go work your livestock,
No.
make some money, be nice. It's none of that. It's die for the religion.
Exactly. Surah 65 verse 4, everyone can go ahead and read it. It's about it telling them about the girls who's not menstruated yet. They're okay to be divorced and wait 3 month idda. So they already had the sex with them. So idda only for people who already consummated the marriage with. And Muhammad did the thawing with Aisha when she was 6 and till 9, and he consummated the marriage. When it comes to Islam,
I'm going to just tell people
Yes.
what thawing is,
yeah,
because when I first heard about it a year ago, it really pissed me off.
yeah,
As soon as I heard about that, it led me to doing the research that I have been doing and talking to individuals
Yes.
like yourself. Thawing people is the favor that men do to young girls. So when they are between 6 and 9, they can be married at 6, possibly younger, I believe. But nonetheless,
there's no minimum age
there's
for
no minimum
marriage.
age for marriage. Oh
no,
my
there's
God.
no minimum age. Even the cradles, the girls in a diaper.
These are the legs of your 6-year-old daughter. This is the penis of a Muslim man, and he will rub his penis all over her thighs and ejaculate all over the thighs. And that's the favor. That's how Muslim men do you the favor of not penetrating your vagina until you're 9 years of age.
And it's also for Sunni and Shia, not just
It's for both.
for both.
For the Sunnis and the Shias.
For the Shia, yes. They do it. In the next video, I will explain to you as well the when you said about Islam, the Dar al-Harb and the Dar al-Salam. I'll explain that to you.
Yes, we're going to cover that next
Yes,
video.
yeah.
Well, you know what, people? If this that you've just learned does not make you as angry as I am right now, then there is something extremely wrong with you. Learn more, freedomreport.ca. Kevin J. Johnston here, freedomreport.ca. Once again, I am with the amazing and the lovely Sandra Solomon, who is going to now tell me about a term that was brought to my attention about Islam called the House of War. Please.
Yes, in Islam, again, because when Muhammad started his Islamic State in Mecca, after he came back from Medina and started to kill and took over the city, from there he established the Islamic State. That's why when ISIS, they say Islamic State, the Caliphate. So he established that, and from there he started something called Al-Futuhat Al-Islamiyya, meaning Islamic opening, conquering other infidels' lands, you know, kill the infidels wherever you find them, killing and take women sex slave, take the spoils, take kids, train them to be like to grow in number. And that's how, and Muhammad said, I will never leave on the land of Arab, I will never leave a Jew or a Christian in the land of Arab, only Muslims. That means only bandits and thugs, but that's the people who help them. So, and they start to establish the Sharia law, and it's order for them. It's not option, it's a must. They have, every Muslim has to go for jihad. كُتِبَ عَلَيْكُمْ الْقِتَالِ. You've been ordered to go for fights.
Okay, so if a modern Mohammedan or a modern Islamic adherent decides, you know what, I want to go to the hockey game instead, I don't care about this stuff, are they a true Muslim? Are they a true Mohammedan?
No, under Sharia law, these people also called hypocrite, and they should be killed.
Really?
Yes.
So, let's clear that up. If you are a Mohammedan, a Muslim, or an Islamic adherent who decides that when you're told to kill me, this lovely face, and you refuse, and instead you go out for chicken wings with me, you should be killed. Well, what the hell kind of a religion is that?
It's not a religion. It's a cult. It's a death cult. It's a rape cult. That's why we need to stop call it a religion. That's number one. And from there, the term came, the house of war, the house of Islam and the house of war. So as long Islam existed on earth, there will always be a terror attack. There will always be a war, because Islam divided the earth. House of Islam, the Dar al-Islam, which there is all Muslims, like Saudi Arabia, like all Muslim, Iran, Indonesia, whatever, all these big Islamic, Egypt, he took over. Like North Africa was Christian. All Iraq, the Assyrian, they're all Christian. They kill, genocide, and kill and take over, and kill and take over, and establish the state. And think about I would go to the latest one, Ottoman Empire. So they have to go. It's Islamic Empire, and they expand all the way to Spain, when they call it Andalusia, and Andalus, and Spain. They took it over and they changed the name as well.
Right. So just so that you know your history, is that the Islamic Empire made it all the way out across northern Africa and into Europe all the way to Spain before being pushed back by Christians.
Exactly.
And that's what instilled the Crusades. The Crusades were to go and defeat Islam and drive it out.
Exactly, because they used to do a genociding, raping women, taking all the Christian women, and they do lots of crucifying, like on a street. They will kill, they behead people in front of the kids. I witnessed the beheading myself, in Saudi Arabia, in front of the kids. After every Friday prayer, that's another thing when they wanted to bring it to school. Let them bring the beheadings too. Let the Canadian kids, they want in the future, they're gonna witness the beheading. After every Friday prayer, they go and witness the beheading, flogging, cutting off the hands. Kids, they see this.
Children watch this.
And
become completely desensitized.
That's the
dehumanized.
That's what. So the House of Islam and House of War, until the whole earth become Muslim. Think about it as a fascist movement. Think of when you think of Hitler. What the first thing comes into your mind? The Holocaust.
Yes.
When you think of Muhammad, you should think the same way right away.
Well, I do, but I'm smart.
Yes, of course, because we need people. That's when we do these things. When I'm telling people these stuff, I want them to be aware of the real danger. It's not a joke. It's a matter of a national security. Canada in real danger. Muslims are here to take over, not to integrate with the Canadian law, not to appreciate the freedom, not to respect the Canadian values and live with it. No. They have to take over and replace it with Sharia law. And they're already starting with the Islamophobia.
Bill 103. Read it. It's a disgusting document.
Very disgusting, and calling Islam religion of peace. It's not a religion, and it has nothing to do with peace. House of Islam and House of War. As long Islam existed, the terror attack will always existed. The war will never stop. The war on the Western civilization, this is their goal now. They want to bring the caliphate. That's why ISIS started, and Boko Haram and Hamas. Like,
we should clear up in one sentence.
Yeah.
What's the caliphate for our audience?
The caliphate equal Islamic empire. It's the dominating of a big, massive land, which is the whole earth, to take over countries. Because Islam, this is very important for every Canadians to know. Islam do not believe in borders. There is no such a thing called border or countries. No countries. It's a one state, big state with the one leader, caliphate, al-Khalifa, like Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi for now. You know,
yes, okay.
he claimed, okay, I am the caliphate, because the Muslim believe they cannot live without caliphate. They have to have a caliphate, and this caliphate has in every area, on like in North Africa, Amir, they call him prince, okay, and
this is just a man.
Yes, he is a one, like Muhammad. Think of Muhammad and think of a caliphate to run the whole.
So like a
region.
really evil pope.
Yes.
But not that Mohammedans or Muslims will see him as a pope.
Exactly.
They'll see him as
a leader, political leader.
A political leader.
And also like an army. They will build the army. Again, remember Muhammad when he built the bandits?
So that a better term would be a general.
Yes.
A military general.
Military general.
Right.
And also they to expand more. And what Muslims are doing now in Canada, they kind of setting the ground for the caliphate. Trudeau, I don't call him like a prime minister. I call him the caliphate. He thinks is the caliphate for the Muslim. He's a leader for Muslims. You know, Trudeau,
he's certainly not one for Canadians.
He's not for one Canadians. And Trudeau, betrayer, he thinks he's the imam. He is the leader. And many videos for him proves that he said the shahada, and he go to the mosque and he given
the shahada is the
to declare there is no God but Allah and Muhammad his messenger. So
that's the exact phrase.
Yeah.
There is no God but the fictional character of Allah.
Yes.
And the warlord Muhammad.
Exactly.
Is his prophet.
Yes, it's all about the house of Islam and house of war. We are now Canada. It's a house of war for Muslims. They need to come here, do immigration.
Yes.
And come invasion. You know the invasion that coming now, and Trudeau opening the door for them.
Yes, and win elections. People like Omar Agrabah.
Exactly.
And Ikra Khalid, who simply will not return my phone calls.
Exactly.
Nonetheless, you will talk to me whether you want to or not. Trust me on this one.
Yeah.
But that's what's happening here. So let me ask you this then. Why is it that second, third, and fourth generation Canadians are voting for these people? I mean, I've met Ikra Khalid. I think that she is a racist, an anti-Canadian, a very dogmatic individual. I believe that this, to her, would be like a 500-pound bar of gold to me. Yeah. It's everything to her.
Yeah.
And she wants me dead because I am a white male. That's the way that I see it with her.
Yeah.
That's the only interpretation I have. However, I stand 5'5". She's roughly my height. And I see someone who's this thin, with no strength of character, with no powerful personality, and with no capacity to do anything other than what the Quran tells her to do. Why are white people voting for that type of individual?
Well, many reasons. We have to. They've been brainwashed about with the, the all ism. We live in culture Marxism. We're living the globalism. All the multiculturalism. We have to clean their
isms,
heads.
In my opinion, are not good. Ferris
Exactly.
Bueller said that.
Exactly. Isms are destroying. They're not gonna come between day and night and tell them again the taqiyya, deceiving, lying, brainwash them, and also they feel more secured when they and they already dehumanized. They already damaged these Canadians. Like yesterday when I was in the protesting against Trump, I can see low class, vulgar.
Hold on. you're for Trump.
Yes.
You were protesting the protesters of Trump.
Yes.
Just want to make sure we got that clear.
Yes, I am pro-Trump big time.
Trump!
Yes, Trump. He's the man, man. Yeah, he's the man. I admire him, and I'm really proud of USA that they make the decision, and hopefully one day Canada, we will make Canada great again. We will.
Well, then that would be Kelly Leach. Elect Kelly Leach for our next prime. At least she's going to try to get immigration under control.
We need a strong leaders, and the only way, listen Canadians, this is the only way to destroy Islam in Canada, and take my words on that. If you do this, I guarantee you 100% we won't have any problem with Islam in Canada. We're going to all live in a peaceful, I won't say the crime will disappear.
No.
People still, but they're not going to do it under name of religion or the name of Allah, and they're not going to, there's no, when was the last time you said you saw a Christian killing someone in the name of Jesus? When was the last time you said you saw a Buddhist or a Hindu killing someone in the name of Krishna?
Or how about an atheist?
An atheist
killing in the name of atheism.
Exactly, in the name of Darwin or whatever. So regardless, even we like see civilized people. I'm a believer, and I'm a follower of Jesus Christ, and He's my Lord of Lords, and He's my King. Regardless, but I'm not gonna kill I'm not gonna kill someone just because I disagree. I disagree with atheists. I disagree with, but doesn't mean I have to it doesn't mean that we should love and we should see them as a human. We should love each other and be for our humanity. Islam, the first thing he does since we're kids, dehumanize. So they see the evil. They don't see the evil the way we see it. They see it. They call evil good, and they call good evil. They're twisted. Their brain, their heart twisted, and this is the only way to destroy Islam. We need to clean the government house first.
Oh yeah.
This is the number one. Clean your parliament house. What happened in USA? The White House, clean. We have a normal human being. Nationalist, this is very important point. You ask me about Canadians, why they are falling into this, because they're not nationalists. They don't feel for the country anymore. Like, they're not connected with their homelands. They're not appreciating the freedom. Someone who came from Saudi Arabia, I did not just read about Islam, I lived Islam. I lived under Sharia law. So first, we need to clean.
The solution is to clean the government.
First, clean the government.
Yes.
Clean your white, because it's a political ideology. So fight it politically. This is the only way. Clean your government house, and we need a strong leader who can openly talk like Trump about radical Islam, about Islam. Like he's doing everything to protect. You have the right to protect your home. This is your home. No one can tell you no when you want to protect your home, right? It's out of protection. Clean the government house, and we need a strong leader who can declare that Quran, it's a hate literature, okay? And whoever asks for Sharia law or calling for Sharia law should be criminalized. Should be criminalized and dealt with, him or she or him as a criminal, and they might face jail time or penalty, and this is the only way.
The law has already been written
Rule of law.
on high treason. If someone is to make the statement that Sharia law must prevail, I would say don't even write new laws. Just say traitor. And that's 25 years in prison, because the way that treason is written is that if you're helping an enemy of Canada to succeed, to beat Canada, even if Canada's not in a state of war with that particular country,
right,
then you are a traitor, and it's 25 years, mandatory sentence.
Yes. Even the Constitution has to be amended. We need to
amended.
Amended.
Yes.
Like, even if we have to rewrite the whole Constitution again, I don't care. Like,
for those of you out there who have ever read the Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms, it is a very poorly written document.
Yes.
There's more to do
with
the rights to have documents written in both English and French, or to have your choice of English and French than there are actual rights of the individual and rights to defend the nation.
Right.
The document sucks. It was 1982, I believe, is when it was official, but it was horrible.
Yeah.
It's like kids wrote it.
Yes.
Honestly.
Yes.
So yeah.
That's why I say we need, even if we have to rewrite the whole constitution again to be protected, immune from Sharia law, and whoever calling or asking, because once you say I want Sharia law, any person who would say I want Sharia law, that means you want a pedophilia, because pedophilia
Yes.
is halal. That means you agree on a wife being beaten up. That means you agree to kill the infidels, whoever the infidel, atheist, Christian, Jew, doesn't matter. You agree to commit a terror attack. You agree to dominate and take over, like so many things. Once you say I want Sharia law, that means you have a criminal mindset. So you have to be labeled as a criminal and dealt with him or her as a criminal. Period. Because that's what Sharia law. It's a criminal law.
You heard it first. This is a lady who lived it in Saudi Arabia, a country that many of you can't even find on a map, and a country whose name many of you can't even spell. Get educated, Canada. Do it now. This is Sandra Solomon, who's teaching all of you everything you need to know about the Quran and Islam. And I'm Kevin J. Johnston, the guy who's got all the balls in the world to bring it to you, and proudly do so in the name of my country. I am a patriot.
Amen.
Amen.
Yes.
freedomreport.ca. Kevin J. Johnston here, freedomreport.ca. Once again, I am with the lovely Sandra Solomon, who is going to now talk a little bit about honor killings inside of the country of Canada and about fake media and the falsification of reports by our mainstream media. Honor killings. Let's cover this. What would inspire or incite a man, a man, to kill his own daughter?
Okay. First of all, in Islam, the good woman, the good Muslim woman who submits without any question to Sharia law,
Yep.
to whatever Muhammad said and whatever it's been written in the Quran, and to the male guardian, her husband, her father, her brother, whoever taking care of her. Okay? Because in the Quran it says, الرجال قوامون على النساء بما فضل الله بعضهم على بعض. That means men are the upper hand of women. They are like they're the first class, and the woman is, because Allah prefer men, not women. Like
Was Allah gay, perchance?
It could be,
because there seems to be
it's
lot
a man,
of this.
because it's a man-made.
Oh, it's man-made, penis man-made. I get that.
Not
part.
just a man, a psycho man made, like Muhammad.
In that case,
Yes,
right.
exactly. Not just a normal.
A
There's many
misogynistic.
there's many respectful men. They stand for women rights, and
Well, I know. I'm
yes,
one of them.
You're one of them.
Damn
which,
right I am.
Yeah, which is good. But there's also many, bandits and thugs and criminal, and they don't, honor women. Okay? So honor in Islam means sharaf. Sharaf mean like, because everything they think about, it's the bottom part of the woman. Because Islam, it's a sex cult, right?
Yeah.
So they always fear a good Muslim woman who submits to Sharia law, to Islam, to the man, and her job only to be obedience. The good Muslim, she obedience to the will of Allah and will of Muhammad and will of her husband. So,
or brother or father.
Or brother or father, or any man who's, because in Islam it's better for her to be home, not to come out, not to talk to men, not to, if she comes out she has to cover, and all, not, she's not allowed to shake hands, all this stuff. So when these Muslim girls come to Canada and they want to be modernate, they want to be civilized, they want to take the hijab, They want to live according to a Canadian lifestyle.
Tight jeans.
Yes.
Yes.
Tight jeans.
Yeah,
And
the good
whatever.
stuff.
It's not. You know, they look at her as a low class woman because Islam divided the woman. This is another subject. We'll talk about it later. Why the hijab? What's the story behind the hijab? Okay,
That's a long one. We will cover that in a future
definitely.
video.
We'll come at what's the story behind the hijab.
But let's talk about honor killing.
The honor killing. So the honor itself, for them, it's a big issue for Muslims, because once the Muslim woman who's rebel and start question, like what happened to me, because I rebelled against it, I start questioning it, and I refused to wear the hijab. My brother used to physically abuse me a lot, to the point he almost killed me. You know, many times he would beat me to the point that he will almost kill me.
Because of the Quran.
Exactly, because what the Quran, خفتم نشوزهن فعظوهن. Nishuz, that means she rebel. Any Muslim woman who start question on rebel, I don't want to wear the hijab, she's bringing shame to the family. She's a shame. Okay, and so according to Quran, she's also doing something called fitna. Fitna means seduction, you know, seducing. So she might seduce or do something that makes other Muslims to leave Islam, to rebel against. So once someone rebel against, so maybe the others will follow, right?
So if let's put that in layman's terms. If a woman goes out wearing a thong bikini and she's super good looking with lipstick, the whole bit, the Quran, the holders, the imams, are going to be concerned that a man's going to look at that and leave Islam because a beautiful woman walked past.
Exactly, because
Wow,
the men,
that's
the Muslim men, they don't have a control over their sex
drives.
Yeah, sex drives. So to them, women are a sex object. So once she take off the hijab, she's ready to be raped. That's it.
Yes.
To them,
okay.
She's calling for rape, like, and
she's just asking for it.
Exactly.
You see the way you're dressed right now. Just so you know, Sandra is asking for me to just put her on the ground and rape her to death right now. She's asking for it because she's wearing a t-shirt that's tight and she's not covering her face.
Yeah.
That's what's going to happen when Sharia law comes to Canada.
Exactly. The woman who's not wearing the hijab.
Can I ask you this question also? Let's just say, when Sharia is here in Canada, you're dressed like this, and I do not beat you with a stick or with my fist. I'm in violation of the law for not punishing you. Is that correct?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Continue,
so, please.
So the men, the guardian. So the rule is to submit, and if she take off her hijab, she's doing seduction, she's doing fitna, and according to Quran, Sharia law, al fitna ashaddu min al qatl. That means when you do this, it's worse than killing. Like, this is worse than killing.
Whoa.
According to Quran, and so these girls, according to Quran, she's rebelling, and jaza'u alladhina she's fighting, like the way I used to do it. Like, when I don't want to wear hijab, I don't want to live Islamic way, I don't want to think like Muslim, I don't want to act like Muslim. So this way I am fighting Muhammadian ideology. According to Quran, you just mentioned it to the letter, on the letter that you sent it to the school board. According to Sharia law, any Muslim who rebel or against Sharia law, that's mean already considered infidels, and they should be killed or crucified or cut the hands and the legs and the opposite side.
Even if they are a Muslim.
Even if they're a Muslim girl, even she doesn't have to say it verbally. Her action, it says that she doesn't want to live Sharia law. The moment any Muslim girl who come to Canada or here in Canada, the moment she say, I don't want to wear hijab, to her Muslim brother, if she said, I'm not going to wear the hijab, I'm going to go out with the friends, male friends, you know.
And I'm going to have sex with a white guy.
Exactly. And anything, like, no freedom. Forget it. She doesn't have a control over her own personal life, her own decisions, right? It doesn't mean, regardless, She, even if she like she doesn't want to have sex, but she doesn't want to wear hijab. Period. That alone give the man, her guardian, a permission under Sharia law to go ahead and kill her. And according to Sharia law, this man who commit this crime, because they're already criminal, according to Sharia law, he's not gonna go to jail. He's not gonna face a jail time. Honor killing, it's like it's everyday story in the Muslim country, in Jordan, in Saudi Arabia, in Yemen, in Egypt. It's everyday story. There is girls getting killed every day. Every day there is girls getting killed just because they don't want to wear hijab. And we have many stories happen already on a Canadian soil. For example, the Shafia girls.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So they killed them. So this barbaric act, and many girls, God knows, we don't know how many of them, they're already getting killed in Canada, but the fake media, the false media, doesn't even talk about it. We don't know how many girls, Muslim girls, coming to Canada or living here and start to be westernized, modernized. They don't want to wear hijab, and according to Sharia law, she should be killed because she rebel against Sharia law.
Well, your point is a very good one in
Yeah.
reference to the stupidity of our media. The Toronto Star is one I have no respect for, and CBC is the
Yes.
worst of the worst.
Yes.
Let's go to this footage right here. So what we have is a protest that Sandra is performing at the Peel District School Board. Now, this is what she's holding.
Yeah.
All right, and the CBC made it very clear that Sandra was holding anti-Islamic signs. She was holding this. Look, the footage showed you this. It's the Quran. She was holding the Quran and reciting Quranic verses. And the CBC, to sensationalize the whole the fake Islamophobia problem that they say we have in Canada, lied about that.
Yeah.
Watch the video one more time. Watch the video one more time. It's the same. Look, see here. These are her notes on the side of the book here. These are the here. Let's do this right up to the camera. You see that? That's her notes. It's the same book. It's got that tealish kind of green color to it, and the yellow medallion in the middle. It's the same book. How does CBC get that wrong?
Yeah, they call it apparently the Quran. It's anti-Islamic side.
Well, this book.
How fake they are, how liar. You know, they're obviously they were lying. And I was holding the evidence that I wanted to give the school board, but they didn't allow me.
But this is not anti-Islamic.
Yeah, this is not. This is imams quotes about killing and jihad and.
These are these here.
Imams.
I went through these. These were actually given to me at the very same Peel District School Board protest. These are condensed notes that come straight from the book, and I confirmed these myself because, as a journalist,
Yeah, Canadian imams.
I'm certainly not going to agree with you if what you're saying is incorrect, and all of this is 100% correct. So it's not anti-Islamic.
Yeah.
It is just the Quran.
Yeah,
That's all it was.
It's a Canadian imams, their name and their quotes from the Canadian imam preaching jihad, calling for slavery for women, taking them sex slave, and Saeed Rajah, for example, he's telling them the Muslims don't do any business only with Muslims, don't talk only with Muslims, don't live with only with Muslims, and soon to come the no-go zone and gonna be Canada. Sharia law.
It'll be Sweden and Germany and France.
Yeah, and
here.
so the honor killing, it's halal in Islam.
Oh, it's proper.
It's a
accepted.
must.
It's
a must for a man to kill his daughter or wife or any family member he is the guardian of that woman. If she commits anything that it shows, even if she doesn't say it, her action, even if she does not say, "Oh, I am apostasy now," like she doesn't have to say, "I left Islam." Even if she say, "I am a Muslim, but I don't want to wear hijab," no, Muslim, you should submit once you say I am a Muslim, that means you have to wear hijab. You have to submit your husband, even if he call you in a night and you don't want. No, you have to submit. So this is a marital rape. It's halal in Islam, and if he killed her under Sharia law, many cases in Jordan when they kill, they celebrate him. They celebrate the man.
He's a hero.
He's a hero.
He's a hero.
They celebrate him. They give candies to the neighbors. They celebrate him and they make a party and they call him a hero. And he doesn't face jail time at all. Not even one day. He's free man after he commit the crime. And that's happened. I encourage everyone to go and Google and put honor killing. Google it. It's there. Many cases and many cases to come. And many cases that we don't know about it because the media, the fake media, the lying, they don't.
What I'm going to make the assumption here is that, let's say the girls are in Toronto and,
Yes.
and they go out without the hijab and nice tight pants on.
Yes.
And they get themselves a Canadian boyfriend. The family leaves Ontario, moves to Saskatchewan for a while.
Yeah.
The girls disappear.
Yeah.
Their corpses get buried or burned. And then the father comes back to Toronto to run whatever business he's
Yeah.
doing here.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm wrong
Yeah.
in that assumption. It's certainly the easiest way to deal with it.
Yeah.
And I am completely and totally disgusted by it. And
Yes.
that is what our Prime Minister, Justin Trudeau, the traitor son of a traitor, I might add, read your history, and we'll cover Pierre Elliott Trudeau in future episodes. This is what you want, Canada. And I know that you don't really want this, but you want it through your own actions, which is a complete and total lack of action, by telling people like Sandra that she is holding up anti-Islamic signs, and by telling me that I'm a hate monger. Well, I'm not a hate monger, I'm an educator, and you wish you had a teacher like me in grade 8. Trust me when I say this. Thank you very much, Sandra.
No problem.
We'll be back next week with more education on the Quran. I'm Kevin J. Johnston. This is freedomreport.ca.